So that means we had to bring on double the manpower just to keep track of all this.
Yep. And this should be a fairly entertaining pair of races. Caleb, Farfelu, both excellent runners. Chanigan, Reed, no slashes themselves. And the flags are pretty much what we've been seeing this whole time. If you've been following the Mystic Quest Randomizer tournament thus far, you know what you're in for. And if you haven't, quick rundown. Key items themselves, and we just need to get to the end of the game. The only thing gating us from fighting the final boss is actually being able to physically get there. And we'll get into what all that constitutes later, but I believe we are getting started.
Yep,
And
hearing some.
yeah, we're having a little bit trouble seeing things over here, it looks like, but we should be able to get a view of what y'all are seeing soon enough. But we are starting with an axe and some steel armor on everyone's screens. But otherwise, yeah, we are going to be jumping into some good... are getting cut off.
Yep.
In case y'all can still hear us, we are going to try and get these technical issues sorted out, because I think part of the problem is this is the first time we are using the 4-player layout for this tournament. So there we go. And hopefully we'll be getting... Now we don't have audio or visual, but that's okay. We did go ahead and acquire a sand coin. We have an axe and some steel armor. So I suspect at least some of these runners are going to be going to collect Phoebe. We also had a 5-enemy battleground.
There we go. Looks like we got everything back. And just to clarify, yes, we are running the same seed for all 4 players. So both races, Reed versus Chanigan and Farfelu versus Caleb, are both on the same seed.
Yep. And that is partially because the two of us need to be able to keep track of what on earth is happening, and it's easier if we're not having to keep track of 2 different scenes.
And it looks like we already have a bit of divergence here. Farfelu opting to skip Foresta altogether, and I don't think they took the battleground, or if they did, they got through it very fast. Looks like they're a little bit ahead, but they're opting to go to Aquaria, while everyone else is still in that battleground.
Yeah. If I had to take a guess based on what I'm seeing on Farfelu's menu, I think what he did is he skipped the battleground and went into Sand Dungeon to collect the item off of Tristram. So that's just judging by the fact that none of the runners seem to have a other runners have finished this battleground, and there's not a lot you can do to speed this up when you have baseline Benjamin and Tristram. And that looked like, was that a river?
That was a river coin, so we could see some major divergence here once Caleb gets through here, and Reed, they're finishing up their battleground as well. Chanigan being the last one to finish out this last battle here in just a moment. Getting a little bit of bad RNG, but it looks like he's going to be clearing this up no problem. Let's see where our runners go. I mean, personally, well, let's look at this objectively. Aquaria technically has more checks, but Fireberg is more of a hub access area.
Yeah. I think given what we can do right now in Fireberg, well, actually I take that back. We could go ahead and do Volcano.
Correct.
Because I do not believe we need any special items to climb the volcano, and the logic does allow you to do Volcano without access to the mask.
Yeah. And it looks like Chanigan's the only one taking a gamble here and going to Fireberg. Everyone else is going to Aquaria. It looks like Farfelu got some Gaia armor for his battleground south of Aquaria and is moving on to the Crab now.
Yeah. Now this crab can be a pain in the butt, especially with a fairly weak Benjamin. But farfelu does have Phoebe, and Phoebe is the best.
Also making good use of that axe, although not great with the starting axe. It is technically an elemental weakness for Mr. Krabs here.
Yeah, and I believe at this juncture in vanilla, you are still using the plain axe, but we do get a steel sword for our trouble, so that expands farfelu's options here in Aquaria.
Yep. He will be able to make the first check in... He'll be able to make 2 checks in Ice Pyramid if he does decide to go that route.
Yeah, he'll be able to check that first box that normally holds the magic mirror, and he'll also be able to open the box that has the noble armor. Neither one of those is going to be blocked by an item he doesn't have. He will need the claw and bombs to get the other 2 items in Ice Pyramid, but that should be fine.
Yep. It looks like Phoebe's handing out elixirs today.
Yeah, that elixir will be handy if we get our hands on a tree wither. I didn't see what Chanigan got out of that first battleground here in Fireburg, but I imagine we're going to see some follow-up here soon enough, because I'm sure at least one of these other 3 runners is going to opt to go to Fireburg rather than the Ice Pyramid.
Yep, and I didn't see a weapon swap, so it could have been a piece of armor or a key item. Now, Chanigan did get a magic mirror from Tristan, too. So if he decides to go to a pyramid afterwards, he'll have a much easier time navigating.
Very true. But there is a claw available in Fireburg, so that does give logical access to Wintry Cave once someone kind of puts everything together there. But let's see here. So I wasn't paying... I kind of looked away for a moment from Chanigan's screen. Is he doing the money battlefield, or is he doing the other item battlefield in Fireburg?
It does look like he's getting some shopping money first. Looks like our vendor in Aquaria is selling the multi-key. But yeah, the formations in the money battleground are typically tree people and porcupines with a sprinkling of salamanders, while the battleground south of mine's strictly a salamander and redcap country. It looks like got wake water for that first check there. It's going to be thawing out Aquaria.
Yeah, and that's very handy. That's going to open up 2 checks past the Libra Temple, as well as opening up access to the check at Spencer. The only problem is there are 2 chests that we are not going to be able to access right now because they require the Venus Key. One is the Venus Key check found in the Focus Tower. There's also a chest that has been added next to Spencer that places the item you normally get from talking to Tristan too, when he gives you the Dragon Claw. That box is also locked by the Venus Key.
farfelu picking up Tree Wither from that North of Libra Temple battleground. He could technically go get Phoebe 1 and 2 out of the way now. Probably going to be putting that in the pocket, though, until he goes to Windia. Getting a battle axe from the chest up at North Focus Tower.
There could be a case made to go ahead with what he's got now, knowing that he did basically fade everything in Foresta. Well, I guess, okay, I think, now that I'm thinking about this, he's probably going to hold off on Kaylee and Kaylee 2 until he can just sweep through, full clear everything, and go on his way. But Chanigan is going to grab that claw, so that is going to put several checks into logic.
The big one being mines.
Yeah, he doesn't have that multi-key, though, but we do get a Giant's Axe from Spencer, but he's going to reset out of that. Because that's not really progression, but that is going to give him the knowledge that when he gets to Windia, that's a free 3rd tier weapon.
Ooh, Chanigan picking up Exit. This might give him the edge above the other runners in terms of speed here. Definitely going to be able to do half checks now. And that was south of Battleground, south of Mines Battleground. Looks like farfelu is running straight to Kaylee.
Yeah, I don't hate this. Kaylee 2 is a very strong ally. and it lets him have a strong ally without needing to do what Chanigan's doing and diving mine without actually getting any of these checks. Also, I'm not entirely sure where we got that guy armor from, but I'm guessing it was that check north of Libra Temple.
It was the check south of Aquaria. North of Libra Temple gave us our tree wither.
Okay, thank you very much for having two eyes to my one. Yeah, just as a reminder to folks, these are two one-on-one races. That is Chanigan and Reed and on top against each other, and Caleb and farfelu on bottom against each other. But we are going to go ahead and pick up Kaylee 2 on farfelu's side. Yeah. I don't hate this. It means that you have that strong ally without needing to go do the, one check in mine and go collect Reuben 2.
Yeah, Chanigan getting the Excalibur for his Reuben check there. That's going to be a better sword option than the steel sword from the crab.
Yeah, it also means that we're not necessarily worrying about our weapon situation. Excalibur is a strong weapon that also gives us a decent speed buff.
And also Chanigan getting Dragon Claw from Volcano. One of our go mode items for tonight.
Yeah.
Still missing explosives though.
Yeah, so I guess this actually gives us a moment to kind of talk about what go mode means here. So like I said, we have to be able to gain access to the final boss, Dark King, which means we need to get you to Dune Castle. So that means we need a Sun Coin to get into Windia, a Sky Coin to open the doors of Dune Castle, the Mobius Crest to warp to where Mac's ship comes out, the Mega Grenades to free it from the cliffside, the Captain's Cap to convince Mac to let us borrow the ship, the Thunder Rock to get into Spencer's place to use the Mega Grenades to free Mac's ship so we can sail it over to Dune Castle, the Dragon Claw to grapple to various points in Dune Castle, and the Mega Grenades to blow up like one thing in Dune Castle again. So, and a sword to open up like switches on Ice Floor. So, we're still looking for a lot of things, is the point.
Definitely. And it looks like in terms of looking for things, Chanigan's now back at Volcano after going to go pick up Reuben 2 for that white. And also looks like he did a little seed shopping. Kaylee 1 given a gas mask for her troubles there, so farfelu and Caleb not exactly getting anything for progression, but they will be able to see in the mist when it comes to time for them to check the volcano.
Mm-hmm. And that'll save them both a little bit of time going up there. And if Reed follows a similar course, which I think it is actually going to be able to pick up a little bit of time on Chanigan if, say, Chanigan bumps into a couple of fights that he doesn't want to take, and Reed can just sidestep it. They'll definitely enjoy being able to but like I said, the mask and mirror are not logically required to explore their respective dungeons. But that being said, Chanigan is going to give us our first look at what Medusa has in store for us tonight.
Yep, and farfelu now doing his shopping battleground after picking up Exit from the South of Mines battleground. Caleb not far behind though.
Now, I imagine both of these runners are going to probably kind of follow a similar track through Firebird. Just based on kind of how they've both routed the seeds so far. You can look over on the tracker and see the only major difference is Caleb wanted to keep.
Ooh, and Chanigan getting a Sun Coin for his troubles, and looks like Woat's cutting out just a little bit here. See if we can get him back.
I'm back. I should be back.
There we go. I lost you mid-sentence there.
Yeah, no, the stream froze up on me, so I stopped talking when I realized that y'all... Now, what I was just going to say is basically, I have a feeling Caleb and Farfelu are going to want to kind of follow similar tracks here. You look at their tracker, and the only difference is Farfelu didn't walk out that axe from Spencer's place.
Yeah, looks like the Hermit's giving out life today.
Yeah, life an important spell in terms of what we are looking for at this point.
Yep, and Chanigan now going through and checking Ice Pyramid. Still no explosives on any of our runners though, so we are still gated in that sense. We can't finish Wintry Cave, we can't do Ice Pyramid, we can't check the top of mines. You could technically run to the Wyvern. That's an option. It's a very long option, not something you want to do.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will point out though, Reed, once they have that Sun Coin, have a reason to go to Windia. Because Chanigan doesn't have Kaylee 2. Reed does. So if they kind of follow a similar track to what Chanigan did and climbing Volcano, doing those checks, they're going to come out of it with the knowledge of, all right, I can go to Windia, I can do this Kaylee 2 check, I can collect my Phoebe 2, I can, do a couple of checks in Windia and go from there. So if our problems, let's say, on Kaylee 2, that's going to be huge for Reed. Because Chanigan may wind up doing a bunch of checks that he doesn't need to for bombs without having that Kaylee in hand.
Speaking of having Kaylee in hand, Caleb's opting to take Kaylee 2 up to the Medusa fight instead of Ruben. I believe Caleb did not do mines, so it looks like he's second guessing this decision now, opting to go back and get Ruben. And to answer chat's question, yes, there is a Discord for this randomizer. So if you guys want to check this out yourselves, this looks like a lot of fun. Check out ffmqrando.net. This randomizer was made by Wild Ham. There's an active Discord community. It's a very young randomizer. So if you want to get on the ground floor, this has only been available for about a year. And there's been some new innovations. I just test piloted a few of them earlier. Chanigan's skipping the Sun Coin chest. I don't know if he's just anxious to check Kaylee 2, or just wants to go ahead and get...
Well, Chanigan can't check Kaylee 2.
Oh, that's right. No, sorry. You are right. I'm mixing up my runners.
Yeah. That important point is the longer, if Kaylee 2 winds up having our progression, the longer Chanigan puts off Aquaria checks, the Wake Water, and all that, the longer it's going to take him to actually, start making forward progress again. But now that we have runners sort of moving into position, it looks like Reed will be the first of our runners to both, check that Kaylee 2 location and have Kaylee 2 available. So they'll probably make a beeline over there, knowing what they know about their other options.
And farfelu getting his Dragon Claw now. Chanigan struggling a little bit with these mummies here in the Alive Forest. Opting to take Phoebe 1 to this fight. I don't know. And these mummies are just extra chunky.
Well, Chanigan may be thinking just well, okay, with the Dragon Claw in hand, Chanigan does have the ability to also... Well, okay, that one was just blocking the path, so never mind anything I was going to say about, getting levels in anticipation being to climb Mount Gale. This was just because he needs to make this check.
Yep. And with Exit in hand, it's not going to be too bad. Getting Libra Crest now, that'll help him have a more complete Aquaria check if he decides to go back. Looks like he's opting to go deeper into Aquaria, though, and check the vendor while he's here.
Yep. Mount Gale is technically on the table for Chanigan.
Meteor from our vendor lady. It looks like he's buying that.
I don't hate it. Meteor, Earth Elemental. Very solid. Gonna get you through a lot of fights. It is the second strongest spell in the game, just about.
Yeah, with a nice fat 1600 plus damage, depending on Ben's level. Definitely something that can help clear out some of these fights that our other runners might have been a little bit slower on earlier. Chanigan being our first runner to find explosives, it is jumbo bombs. So definitely going to be probably be seeing a complete Aquaria clear out now if he doesn't opt to go to Firebird first. And that looks like exactly what he's going to do.
And farfelu gonna be right behind him and getting those bombs, though, because he's going straight to this check that Chanigan skipped before. We'll probably still see farfelu go through to win and check Kaylee too. So we'll see how things go from there. And yeah, PorcupineReed, they get their Sun Coin, so I expect that they're going to follow probably a similar here. Get the bombs, get that Kaylee check. Unlike Chanigan, though, I think everyone else is actually going to have a ally sufficient to the task of getting to this packet of trouble.
Chanigan holding on to Tristram too. This is a bold play. I'm interested to see where he's taking this. He might be sprinting back to Windia to get Phoebe too, just to finish the checks in all the other regions. Not a bad plan.
Did Chanigan go into Sand Dungeon?
No, he has not gone back to Bone Dungeon yet.
Yeah.
Which is totally on the table. There are 4 checks still left in that area. Might be waiting to get that tree withered before he decides to go full commit there.
Yeah.
Speaking of full commits, it looks like Caleb's fully committing to Ice Pyramid.
Like we said before, the noble armor chest is in play. And Caleb does have that exit spell available, I believe.
Very true.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, angling to go for the, Farfelu's not going to come in here without the ability to full clear it. I don't know if bombs are here or not, but if bombs are here, then Farfelu is going to, like, put this off until last location.
And if this could be Mega Grenades, which would spike Caleb to the lead. It is Mobius Crest, though.
Mobius Crest, though, that is not bad. That opens up a few options. Yeah, that is a walking backwards sprite. That is because Caleb is a very strange human being.
A man of unique tastes.
Trust me, it happens in basically every randomizer Caleb runs. You get used to it.
Reed is our first runner to check out the Bone Dungeon. Let's see what they find here. Chanigan being our first runner to take on Doulahan.
Yeah,
there's a Captain's Cap.
All 4 of our runners in completely different places.
Yeah, this is a little wild.
Yeah, 2 runners in the area, 1 runner in the Firebird area, 1 runner in the Earth area. And like you said, Reed finding... I think you said it was Reed who found the Captain's Cap?
It was. They were the first one to find the Captain Cap here in Bone Dungeon in the Steel Shield chest.
Yeah, and that could be a problem for Chanigan depending on how long he puts off sort of those Aquaria checks. Because not only does he have to go and collect the tree wither, he then has to cash it in. And
correct.
That could take a while, because this is the one part of the game you really can't easily go back to.
Let's see if Reed makes use of Ruben's life here to put a quick end to Sculosaurus Rex, or if he's just going to smack him to death. Looks like it's a beating.
Yeah, it's fine. Sculosaurus Rex is going to make 1 attack, and then it's dead. Especially with a crit from Ruben.
Definitely.
Look like Gemini Crest off.
Indeed, that was a Gemini Crest off the Doulahan. So opening up some more travel options.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to call it out, but Caleb's showing the advantage of finding that Mobius Crest where he did. Able to just jump straight over to Windia. And when he finds that Gemini Crest, it's going to make it really between the 3 towns. One thing to note, the randomizer's logic does not account for the crest in terms of what you have logical access to. aside from, like, in terms of getting to the different parts of the map, it does account for it in things like getting to the Mobius Crest chest itself, I believe. But I didn't pay attention what Reed got out of Bone Dungeon. What do we get?
I completely missed what they got as well. Unfortunately, I realized that Farfelu and Caleb had basically resynced now here in P Tower, and I was watching to see who was a little bit ahead of the other here.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing anything new on the tracker, so I'm guessing what we probably saw was either a downgrade of a weapon we already have or a spell.
Yep, Chanigan now picking up his Gaia armor.
And is going to be full clearing Wintry Cave. Yeah, that's the thing, is Chanigan with bombs and claw in hand, probably going to full clear Ice Pyramid before, like, even if he goes in and collects the Tree Wither, Chanigan's probably going to go ahead and do Ice Pyramid before he even sets foot in Foresta again, so the longer Reed can explore without Chanigan going back to Bone Dungeon, the better.
Ooh, and it looks like Caleb and Farfelu getting mega grenades from P Tower, and Caleb opting to just peace out, sprinting for Doulahan, while Farfelu staying behind, opting to fight the big stupid jerk bird.
I don't hate this play from Caleb. It's going, like, yeah, there is the chance that Pazuzu will have something we need, but if this, even though we don't need the Gemini Crest, Caleb will be able to navigate the map a lot faster than Farfelu, and that could come into play. I mean, he doesn't know that, but...
Yeah, it looks like the only two go mode items we have still unaccounted for is the Thunder Rock and the Sky Coin. This could be vanilla Sky Coin for Jerkbird. If it is, this is going to rocket Farfelu to the ahead of Caleb here. Be interested to see what the Jerkbird drops. Rolling about 75% HP from what it looks like.
Yeah, no, this should be... Like, the pain with Pazuzu is actually getting to fight him, not so much the fight itself. Especially with these flags. There is the kill on the Jerkbird, and Farfelu is going to show us whether or not Caleb made the right choice. It's like Deal or No Deal, but with way lower stakes.
Exactly. There is no money at... well, kind of.
There is money at play, but, like...
not nearly as much.
I'm thinking anyway.
Nothing substantial.
Exactly.
Venus Key.
Venus
this
Key,
could be big.
That's 2 checks. One that for right away. But
yeah, so what that opens up to our runners here is the chest in Spencer's Cave and a chest in north of Focus Tower here. I'll be interested to see if our runners find a opt to go to Spencer's Cave the good old-fashioned way, because if they do, there could be Thunder. Yeah, that could be where Thunder Rock is, and if that's the case, some of our runners might opt to wait until the very end, while some might make that gamble and have it pay off for them.
I'm gonna go ahead and swap us to the other race's audio for a bit, just to mix things up a little bit. So.
Yeah, this is still anybody's race at the moment.
Yeah. So, as I expected, Chanigan opting to just full clear Ice Pyramid, while Reed, kind of in the same ballpark as Caleb and Farfelu, opting to do some exploring down here. In the Windia region. So here we go. We're about to get a couple of checks on Chanigan's side that we have not yet seen, while we're kind of waiting for the rest of the runners to make up their mind on where they're going from here.
Indeed. Blizzard from the first check here, the basement of the pyramid. Not something you want to see, not a particularly useful spell at all. Rather slow on the animation side and doesn't do a lot of damage.
Caleb, meanwhile, doing this a lot more check. I believe didn't really give us anything. But Chanigan gonna make short work of Ice Golem here. And then we will see a quick exit out. Meanwhile, farfelu and Reed currently fighting Dolahan to get their Gemini crest. Caleb, I think, one of the only runners who actually already had his bombs before opening that box with the jumbo bombs.
Indeed. Still not opting to go to Bone Dungeon, though. Instead, going to go pick up... looks like they're going to use the Mobius crest to go check the... go through the Hermit, go back to Fireberg, and it looks like they might be doing Reuben checks now. Or Lava Dome.
Checks? Yeah. Well, oh, that's actually a good point. Access Reuben's dad yet, but... no? Well, okay. Caleb trying to make up his mind.
Looks like Reuben's dad is going to be rescued.
Yeah, we do also have the red chest here in... so it looks like Caleb is going to do a twofer here. Rescue Reuben's dad and also open this box.
And if this is Thunder Rock or Skycoin, this could be huge for Caleb here. Fire from the first chest.
Yeah.
Chanigan often opting to huff it down to Spencer's Cave, but no Venus key from him, so we still won't see what's in that chest until one of our other runners go there. Farfelu being the first one to check our Venus key chests.
Yeah. At least gonna check this one. Farfelu may fade Spencer until he has the Thunder Rock, though.
Yeah,
well,
it looks like that mask was from North Focus Tower, so nothing helpful. Checking the Libra Crest now. Vanilla bombs from the old man. So again, another dud check. Still no progression from any of our runners. Everybody's still kind of retreading old tracks right now. Let's see what Reuben's dad's giving out. It's the Aegis Shield.
It has petrification resistance, and that is massive.
Yeah, also a good chunk of defense and evasion bonus there.
So
It looks like
Chanigan... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Chanigan's finally going back to Foresta. Yep, that's exactly where he's going. So, Reed's still getting a chance to do some more productive checks, because I think the only thing we really got out of the rest of Ice Pyramid
yeah, Mobius Crest was the big key item check out of Ice Pyramid there.
Yeah. So
I think Chanigan technically has the most key items for his buck right now, having the Captain's Cap, only needing Thunder Rock and Skycoin.
yeah, so question in chat, who is winning? So, to be clear, these are two 1v1 races. Top is racing top, bottom is racing bottom. And in terms of that, it's hard to say. Like having just pointed out, Chanigan is only missing that Mobius crest by not having gone back to Ice Pyramid. But while on the bottom, I'd say Caleb maybe has a little bit of a lead, or will after we finish up here.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what he gets from if he goes into Lava Dome, which seems like a sound play to make. I'll be interested to see what he does.
At this point, by process of elimination, our Thunder Rock has to be here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other checks that haven't been done. Kaylee 2 still hasn't been checked.
Yeah, Kaylee 2, and... yeah. Unless Kaylee... today, I think... or it could be a giant tree.
Yes, that is another possibility that no one wants to take into consideration. Could also be in the... could not be in the Mobius Crest check that technically needs Thunder Rock logic.
Well, I mean, I don't think we can get to it without the Thunder Rock.
Correct,
So I don't think
that's
it's
what I meant.
technically... yeah, I don't think it's a technically needs Thunder Rock. I think it's a flat out, we have to have Thunder Rock to open that up. So... yeah, I think Thunder Rock has to be in one of these boxes here in Lava Dome.
I missed what Caleb got from the first check there with the life box.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. And I don't believe farfelu has gone back to open Spencer's chest either. Chat's thinking maybe it was Arrow.
Could be, which is the best black magic spell in the game in terms of raw damage. So that could be definitely helpful for our runners in situations where they need to clear out trash mobs but don't have the wizard spell charges to expend.
Alright, yeah, there's that magic ring from Ice Golem. So farfelu may go ahead and do Spencer now. He knows what's in that first, but he is not going to go do Spencer. He is going to take his Gemini Crest and go... Oh, no. Okay. farfelu is going to do a save split here. He's going to... If Spencer's box doesn't have anything, he's going to reset out and take that Gemini Crest over to Firebird.
Caleb getting Flare from the Moon Helmet chest there. Not a go mode item, but definitely something that's going to give him the advantage in terms of raw damage output for this race.
Flare, the strongest spell in the game, and Fire Elemental, and...
Thunder Rock from... Yep. So Spencer holding on to the rock that lets us get to his cave from Windia here. Let's see if the other runners opt to make that check. Now, I'm trying to remember where Venus Key was.
So I believe that this is going to put farfelu in the advantage. Because Caleb faded Pazuzu hard.
Could be. However, there is still an opportunity for the Wyvern to hold on to Skycoin. And if that's the case, this could definitely put Caleb and farfelu back in even footing.
But for the moment, we'll chill out with farfelu's music for a minute.
Yep, looks like he's opting to go save Ruben's dad. He's going to be getting a Aegis shield for his troubles, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. So, while we're kind of looking for the last bit for end, we can talk a little bit about the end game fight, don't you think?
Yeah.
So, folks who are familiar with vanilla Final Fantasy Mystic Quest are doubtlessly familiar with the Cure glitch on Dark King. You know, you cast Cure on Dark King, it does some chicanery, next thing you know, Dark King's taking like 30,000 damage. Wildham took that out of this randomizer. You cannot cure Dark King in the randomizer, period. There's not even a flag to turn it on. So these runners are going to have to defeat Dark King legitimately. Also, I'm going to make an executive decision. Well, you know, farfelu is technically in the lead, and I love the guy to pieces. This music does not have enough bass for this soundtrack. And Reed does not appear coming through, so, you know what, we're going to go back to Chanigan.
Nothing wrong with the Pazuzu Tower theme, also sharing its music track with Mount Gale.
Actually, you make a good point. We're doing Caleb. Lava Dome's music slaps.
It does. It's a great soundtrack for an dungeon. Often faded,
right.
But yeah, it's faded by a lot of people just because it's so long to get the Wyvern here. But in this tournament, you can't take any. You can try to take a gamble or not, but this Wyvern, we're about to find out, or the Hydra for the first fight, we're about to find out if they have one of our go mode items or not. If not, Ghidra could be holding onto that Sky Coin, or even it could be in the bottom chest of Dune Tower.
Yeah, no, there's still several very mean checks that could be in store. Also, hi everyone from SpeedGaming 2. We're about, I'd say what, 60% of the way through this match, 60-70%.
For sure, but the best is yet to come.
Yeah, so yeah, before I kind of got distracted changing music or DJing, I was saying, so we're gonna have to fight Dark King legitimately. No shortcuts. And Dark King is rude. Dark King can petrify, Dark King can confuse, Dark King can just kill you if you're too low.
That being said, Dark King could also be made out of paper mache. So for the randomizer seed for the tournament, we have all enemy stats set to 75% with a 50% spread, which means our enemies could be as weak as, 25% of their vanilla values, or as strong as 125%. And meanwhile, Caleb getting an Apollo helmet for his troubles. So it looks like farfelu will be getting the same. I'm wondering if Mobius Crest or south of Doom Tower is the secret spot. Caleb looks like he's making his way to Bone Dungeon now.
Don't forget Max Chest.
Very true.
But yeah, so at this point though, what we do know is that Sky Coin is either basically in one of the last 2 checks in the game, or in the last check anyone wants to actually do. And that cap does make the Dune Castle check in logic / available. But that being said, did Reed never find the exit spell?
I don't know if they did. I'm trying to remember if they took the battleground south of Mines.
They're walking out of Pazuzu's tower, so that makes me think they never actually acquired the exit spell. So
if not, that is going to put them a little bit behind everyone else. Basically, that exit spell makes you have to take half the legwork of getting out of any dungeon.
Yeah, and from that SpeedGaming 2 raid, these are 2 1v1 matches. Top is racing top, bottom is racing bottom. So Chanigan and Reed are in a race, and Caleb and farfelu are in a race.
That being said, all 4 runners are running on the same seed, so you'll be seeing the same checks from all 4 of our runners tonight.
In fact, I believe we generated this seed by getting all runners to 2 dex values. So they only have themselves to blame for this navigational nightmare.
Well, 1/4 of the blame. Shared 4 ways.
Either way, they can only yell at each other. But
Very
so
true.
actually, just kind of an interesting observation. This power climb is required. Just because I don't know if we spelled that out. Underrock Venus chest was locked by the Venus key, which we got from Pazuzu. So Caleb a little bit behind the 8 ball by virtue of still needing to do Pazuzu's tower, but I think he's going to Ice Pyramid.
Yep, that being said, he did set himself up, so I believe he already pinned down Pazuzu, so if he needs to make his way back there quickly, won't take him long to get into the Jerkbird fight.
Yeah, so we'll see how that all shakes out, but the $1 million question right now is where our Sky Coin is hiding.
Getting some predictions from chat saying the Sky Coin is in the giant tree behind the Ghidra chest. That could very well be a possibility.
And if you're familiar with the vanilla game, but not this randomized stuff, Ghidra chest, there's no chest behind Ghidra. One of the changes that the randomizer does make is the 3 mini-bosses, Medusa, Dullahan, and Ghidra. 4 mini-bosses, I forgot about the crab as well. All the mini-bosses now have a chest in their respective dungeon locked behind them, specifically. So to get their chest. In Ghidra's case, the door that leads to the red chest in the giant tree will not open until Ghidra is dead, and the rest just have the chest only appear on their space once you have killed them. Such as you see here with the squid here in Wintry Cave.
Correct. And it looks like all of our other runners now having Venus Key and going down manually to Spencer getting their Thunder Rocks, Caleb being the only one not opting to due to not having that key. Let's see if he opts to go back to Pazuzu or if he's going to go to Tree after this. I believe he's already cleared out Pyramid.
He hasn't cleared out Pyramid. He doesn't have a magic ring.
Ooh, indeed.
So, yeah. So Caleb is going to do Ice Pyramid, but should realize after that he needs to go do Pazuzu. Which is unfortunate for him, because that's going to put farfelu in a better position to hunt down that sky coin. Let me go ahead and swap us back over to Chanigan's side, though. Because I believe, based on his movements, Chanigan probably going to go do some of the checks we were talking about in terms of going to max ship, checking the box there, possibly even dipping his toe into Dune Castle. The last box in the game that I believe normally holds. Is that normally the Aegis Shield or the Apollo Helm?
In the chest of the Mobius crest?
No. Oh yeah, the Mobius chest. That's another one I forgot about. It's the Aegis Shield, the one in Dune Castle.
Yes, it is the Aegis Shield. I apologize. I was getting pinged on the side here.
And yeah, we do have Reed frozen. I don't know if there's a problem, but we will. But hopefully we'll be able. But in the meantime,
Chanigan making a beeline for the boat. I don't know if he just got Skycoin from that Mobius quest check or if he's about to make a check here. Farfelu not far behind him though. Let's see. It's Thunder.
But yeah, so in the meantime, we do still have plenty of action to keep us occupied. But yeah, that if we can't get Reed, we'll keep up with what's going on in the race room and let y'all know. There is a 15-minute delay, so it is what it is. But
looks like Farfelu is about to make big tree check here.
Yep. Meanwhile, Caleb's been up here with the Ice Golem. So, here's the thing. If the Sky Coin is in one of these last two locations, that's actually farfelu making the giant tree play. Yeah, alright.
Yep, on the ship.
That is good news for Caleb.
Yep, so all he has to do is fight the Jerkbird and go to the ship, and he could technically have this in the bag. It's just a matter of execution here. And it looks like that might be what he's doing now. I think Caleb's technically burned through every other check that he could have come to mind.
Yeah, so assuming Caleb opts to avoid giant tree, we could have a very close finish in this race on the bottom. Chanigan, meanwhile, heading into Dune Castle. We're going to stick with his music because A, he's in the lead overall, even if these are two separate races, and B, because Dune Castle slaps.
Arguably one of the best themes in the game. And let's see where his Pazuzu is positioned. Hopefully he gets a favorable spot either on floors 1, 3, or 5, so he doesn't have to hunt him down. Yeah, and Adam bringing up a good point in the chat here. Game 1 between Caleb and Farfelu was just about a couple minutes apart from each other. So we might be seeing some convergence between our runners again here.
Well, we know that this check is not going to lead to anything for Blue. Try saying that 4 times fast. But yeah, so every moment that he is in the giant tree, that is giving Caleb a chance to catch up.
Correct, but navigating P-Tower here can be a bit of an issue for our runners. And if Caleb can't figure out where the big Jerkbird is or remember how to properly position himself to get to the Jerkbird, that could be a problem as well. Looks like he might be on floor 6. Oh no, he didn't hit any of his switches before leaving. Or he is going to have to pin down the bird, giving Farfelu time to catch up here.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit here. Farfelu, though, yeah, that should... So... Actually, wait. Did Farfelu never go back to Bone Dungeon?
No, he has not gone back to Bone Dungeon yet, but that is a very, very fast check.
Yeah, he's still probably going to full clear it, though, because he doesn't know that Skycoin's not there, so...
correct. So Caleb still has a little bit of time to catch the Venus Key. Now, travel time is going to be a factor here. He's going to have to get to Aquaria very fast and manually walk down to Spencer's Cave.
Yeah, but that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things, because he'll be able to exit out, and like he has exit, and yeah, like it's just the time to walk down to Spencer and then jump through a couple of crests back to Windia. Caleb, if nothing else, definitely and very familiar with how to navigate the world map. But farfelu about to get the bad news that his sky coin is in another castle.
Indeed. Now let's see what he gets for his troubles, though. A Night Sword. Definitely nothing you want to see there.
Well, there was never going to be anything he wanted out of that box. But
Caleb getting a little confused here. See if he corrects his routing to get up to floor 5 as quickly as possible. P-Tower being a little... I would say floor 5 is honestly the worst floor for the Jerkbird to be on, if I'm being honest, just because it can be so cumbersome to get to him. Farfelu on to Max Ship, though. He's going to be getting his Sky Coin, but he still doesn't have that Captain's Cap.
Yep, and Phoebe deciding to nuke herself, which, you know, you love to see that. The fact that the game has this automated AI is fun, but also silly. And yeah, I think farfelu realizing he doesn't have the cap. Now, with the logic of the randomizer, it is worth pointing out, with these flags, cap can be in that chest on Captain Mac's ship. But farfelu, I think, realizing that he's left 4 chests unaccounted for, thinking, I'm gonna go play the odds. It's an 80% chance that the hat's over here in Bone Dungeon. So gonna be rewarded for realizing that he doesn't need to dive Mac's ship. Caleb, meanwhile, has pinned down the Jerkbird, so yeah, this is gonna be close. Chanigan, meanwhile, doesn't look like has had too many difficulties getting through Dune Castle so far. And I think gonna be, yeah, just hit level 18.
Wait, did Farfelu not check the chest on Mac's ship?
Yeah, he did the first fight and then I think realized that there's only a 20% chance that that had the hat in it. Or may have forgotten that the hat can be on the ship. But either way, it came over here.
Yeah, this could come back to bite him. Every little decision like that will give Caleb an extra second or two to catch up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if he had checked that, then as soon as he saw that cap, he would have known I've got go mode and left. But now he is going to have to clear out this dungeon, which not very long, but...
Caleb getting his Venus key. Looks like he's keying in on what he needs to do here, no pun intended.
You intended every drop of that pun, don't even pretend.
I'm a dad, I'm legally obligated.
I'll allow it.
Caleb sprinting off to, looks like he's going to be making a beeline to Aquaria here.
Yeah.
Opting to take the Gemini warp. Oh no, just walking around straight there.
Yeah, he's going to
probably
check
faster.
The focus tower first. That's a fast check. It's the vanilla check. But we are into a fight with Dark King, so we're going to give this first phase a chance to breathe.
I wish we had the power to turn him up.
We probably could have, but it's too late now because we're in phase 2. So yeah, Dark King, like we said, you cannot cheese this fight. You have to get through it honest. Each phase does have its HP scaled, though I believe are the stats consistent across all 4 phases otherwise, or do all 4 phases roll separately for stats?
I believe all 4 phases roll slightly differently for HP, but stats I believe are consistent.
Well, either way, Dark King showing off why some runners hate Phase 2 more than any of the others. Because there's a lot of bad things that can happen with Phase 2's attacks.
Indeed. Caleb getting his Thunder Rock now, trying to make his way back to Windia. Looks like he might be going to try to get Max Ship cleared. Meanwhile, farfelu actually on Max Ship, on his way now, committing to making that coin check, and he will be rewarded for it.
Alright, one of our trackers, Giga Otomio, coming in with the hot fact. The Dark King's attacks damage are entirely independent of his stats. So, we don't actually care what his stats are. He's going to kill us no matter what.
Indeed. farfelu on his way to the tower, though. Caleb not too far behind. All he has to do is release the ship, and then if he checks Cat and Max ship next, he'll be in go mode as well.
Yep.
Definitely not a Paper King up there on Chanigan's side, though. We've got ourselves a chunky boy. So still anybody's race between farfelu and Caleb. One misplay there or a wipe could put either runner back in the lead of the other.
And yeah, one important thing to note. Both of these guys looks like they're going to be bringing Phoebe to this fight. Phoebe, as I mentioned earlier, susceptible to both Petrify and Confusion, as we will probably have seen or will see on Chanigan's side. And so it is very easy for this fight to go off the rails if Dark King gets any kind of speed advantage. It looks like we actually have a slow King tonight, though.
Yep. farfelu, though, making a gamble here, sacrificing about 10-15 seconds, but getting a Cupid Locket for his trouble, so he is fully kitted out on resistances on Ben, making this Dark King fight a little bit easier for him than what Chanigan's dealing with. Chanigan still may lose a turn here to Confusion. Not the worst status ailment, but it can have nasty effects if luck is not in your favor. Caleb right on farfelu's tail, though, opting not to go to tree and instead checking Max ship.
But in the meantime, Chanigan has pushed Dark King to Phase 4, and is going to be continuing on the warpath here. It's very rare to see Phoebe going down to normal attacks from Dark King compared to Benjamin.
Well, there is the possibility of his attacks critting. I've heard many a scream from people getting crit by Flare, and that is time for Chanigan.
That is a red glow, and we're going to go ahead and move our music over to Caleb. Alright, but yeah, we're going to see if we can get Chanigan in here to have a conversation while these other two runners finish up, and Chanigan, GG. I'm not sure if Chanigan can hear us yet.
Yes, I can now. Hello.
Alright, cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
This Discord is having issues on my side.
It seems like Discord's having issues on everybody's side tonight.
Yeah.
But GG's, man. Yeah, no, making some smart plays. I think you have the fastest out of the four runners here in terms of your clear time. What made you decide to go to Fireberg before Aquaria?
Just to have Ruben. And I didn't want to go to Aquaria yet. So I can get Phoebe and just be stuck there and nothing to do. So I'm like, nah, I'll go do Ruben, and he's more powerful. I could clear stuff quickly. And if I can find the Sun Coin, that'll be a plus for once I go to Aquaria.
Yeah, Medusa dropping that for you. Definitely a play to make. I think you got just about everything you needed out of Fireberg except for explosives, but that Sun Coin led you right to him.
Yep. No, that was a pretty good, I think a pretty good decision. go there first.
Yeah, no, definitely played out for you, and I especially appreciate that you didn't forget Ruben's dad this time.
Oh yeah, there was no way I was going to forget him. I had too many seeds, and I've seen too many seeds where Ruben's dad was the go mode item.
Yeah, well, I mean, with this flag set, there's a lot of one-off checks like that can wind up being go mode, given how many items are needed for go mode, and kind of the narrow passages into which items can be slotted. So, just as a quick aside, though, for folks who may be listening but not necessarily watching, farfelu has made it up to the wind floor, heading towards Zuh, and Caleb just finished up on ice floor and is heading up to our fire floor. So, probably what, a 2-3 minute difference?
Roughly. How thick was the jerk bird, Chanigan? I don't think I was watching your stream when that was going on.
Pretty thin. Maybe, 5 whites from both Phoebe and Ben. Was pretty thin.
Fair enough.
Alright. Yeah, and Caleb might have a little bit easier time getting through some of this just because he is packing a flare. And I'm not sure anyone else picked that up.
Yeah, I think he is the only one who is bringing a flare to the party. So while he is behind farfelu right now, he does have it's like 200 damage, but it adds up round for round. And bad rolls on Dark King, especially with him being as thick as he is, could definitely run this either one of our runners' way for the second race here.
farfelu also picked up flare.
Here we go. So at this point, it's all down to RNG. Farfelu done with the wind floor, on his way to the Dark King now.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll see here, farfelu, I don't think we called it out when Chanigan did it. Floor, this is the fast way off of wind and up to the Dark King. So, yeah, Caleb about 2 minutes behind, I think, looking at getting to wind floor versus when farfelu did.
And I think the major factor in that is him skipping Pazuzu when they first went to P Tower. I think this would be a completely different race if he had decided to full clear P Tower.
But either way, we are going to be seeing farfelu into Dark King. I guess I could put the Dark King musics on. So yeah, we kind of already seen what Chanigan had in store. The important thing here, though, is Dark King still the great equalizer. If he does a few rude things, it can be very easy for farfelu to take a wipe here, get the fight reset, and Caleb to catch up pretty quickly. But at the moment, just trying to punch through this phase 2, and does so. So we are into phase 3, and this was, I believe, the particularly chunky part of this fight.
Indeed. Spider phase was extra thick. Both of our runners, though, having a good amount of HP on their side, so Ben will be able to live through almost everything except for laser. So no real danger there, and farfelu especially going to be extra safe with those silver webs, since he stopped to grab the Cupid locket, and Caleb did not.
So Caleb threw Zuh, and we going to have him into this Dark King fight. I'd say about 2 minutes. I think that's an accurate assessment. So we'll see how this all shakes out.
Doesn't look like farfelu picked up the seeds before going in. Neither does Caleb.
Well, I think both of them bought some seeds beforehand.
Yep.
And with the levels they have, they like the heal you get before this fight should be enough magic on Benjamin to keep this ball going. But yeah, it looks like Dark King playing nice, mostly focusing on damage rather than dumping all of the status elements onto Phoebe.
Yeah, farfelu closing in on the end of the fight here in phase 4. Still anybody's game, though. A bad mix of combinations here could spell it for farfelu and then put Caleb back in the lead.
Yeah, but farfelu able to get that cure out with Phoebe. That stabilizes both party members. And again, Dark King continuing to opt for damage over turning Phoebe into a statue, which is huge because that keeps Phoebe on her feet. Even if she is having to focus on healing, she's better at it than Benjamin is. You kind of want Phoebe heals, but farfelu is going aggressive with 2 attacks.
And that pays
only
off
needs
for him.
1. That is a dot done for farfelu. Good for official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 13 seconds. Mark done. And we should... I'm not sure if he'll be joining us. I know he is... He may have snuck into chat a little bit before he finished on screen, but it's okay. But, yeah, I see him down there. He should be hopping up here anytime now. And there we go. farfelu, GG.
Hi, GG. It was cool seeing that.
So, did you enjoy having to go to Spencer's place like 3 times?
3 times, really?
Well, you went down there once, saw the axe, reset out, had to go back down there to open the Venus key chest, and you had to walk in there a 3rd time to actually open up the dam.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I was more scared just because I 100% cleared the game, but yeah, pretty excited to at least have 1 win so we can have a match 3.
Yep, so that'll definitely put you in round 3, and for Chanigan, you are moving on to the next bracket. I wonder who your handsome opponent is going to be.
Not gonna lie, I haven't checked, so I'm guessing it's you.
Oh, it could be. You'll have to take a look.
And it looks like Caleb, just as a quick aside, gonna probably not have too many difficulties with this Dark King. Probably gonna need... yeah, he's gonna pick up Benjamin here, and then probably... I recall, we're gonna maybe see 2 more attacks and Dark King will go down for Caleb. And that'll be GG on his side. And yeah.
And that is done.
So yeah, that's gonna give Caleb an official time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 23 seconds. And since I didn't call it earlier, Chanigan finished with an official time of 56:44. Reed did forfeit once Chanigan finished, which is why the stream there kind of froze up. That is a hazard of delays. But that being said, so yeah, farfelu, difference maker in your race is you opted to finish Pazuzu's tower once you went in, and Caleb did not. And here, I believe he did step away after y'all's race finished, so it might take a minute for him to get his invite. But what kind of, was it just sort of a, I don't want to have to come back and climb this tower again decision, or what kind of led you to go ahead and do Pazuzu then and there?
Yeah, pretty much. And I like to clear Pazuzu's tower because it just gives a lot of XP compared to Ice Pyramid or with the easier enemy, you don't have that much experience. So yeah, I just wanted to full clear that, get all the 3 items. I was hoping there would be get on the rock or something important, but at least I got was there. I got flare or no, there was mega grenades were there. So yeah, at least I got something important.
Yeah, and I mean the Venus key did lead to the Thunder Rock. Also, hey Caleb, GG.
Hey, GG's.
GG's, Caleb.
So I did want to pick your guys' brain real quick with the captain's cap. It looks like the only one who opted to go to Bone Dungeon as soon as they got explosives was Reed, getting that captain's cap early. Was that kind of on the back of the rest of y'all's mind? I know some, I think farfelu, you were the last one to go there. Were you just banking on cap being somewhere else, or didn't want to make the travel time to Bone Dungeon?
Yeah, I pretty much hope nothing was there. But to be honest, At some point, I forgot it existed. Like you saw, I I entered the boat and then said, "Yeah, there's a problem. I still need 2 items to go, and there's only one in the boat." Oh right, I forgot that dungeon. So yeah, it was pretty a long time before getting explosive. So I'm not used to that, and that's why I had that in the back of my mind for like the first half hour, but after that I just forgot.
Yeah, short-term memory loss seems to be a common occurrence between all of us Mystic Quest runners. Well, if we don't start with bombs and you go too far deep in, you're about 20 minutes in, you forget Bone Dungeon even exists half the time.
I've said it before, and I will say it again. Esta wanted to be remembered by anyone. They would be integrated into the global network. It's not that hard to set up a Libra crest in one of those houses and just hook it into Firebird like everyone else.
Indeed.
Hint,
So,
hint, Wild Ham or Giga or anyone else who's fiddling around with the aspects of this game.
for sure.
I think I'm the only one that did the captain's, not captain's, Skycoin in the max ship.
Yeah, no, you were the only one who went there early, I believe, because I think you found your coin before you found your hat. Is that right?
Nope. No, I had hats.
Oh, that's right. So you gambled. You found coin for your last item. I believe Caleb also made the same play, opting to go get his coin instead of tree. What made you decide to do that, by the way, Caleb? Is it just the pure hatred for Ghidra in that long
Yeah,
check?
I really don't like the tree, and I figured I need to double check Pazuzu just in case. Like I need to feel bad, and then the seed let me know that I needed to feel bad because I should have done Pazuzu when I was there. I just didn't want to walk back up the stairs with my bombs and go flip the switch. You know, that was
Was
the only reason I didn't do Pazuzu is I was too lazy to go back up the stairs.
yeah, my
I
heart went
should
out
have.
to you a little bit. I thought you at least hit the switches before leaving, but then I remembered you didn't have.
I didn't
You
have the
didn't.
bombs. Yeah.
Well, you had mega grenades.
Yeah, but I didn't want to go back up the stairs, so I just exited out
Oh,
after getting the second box.
oh man.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, all things considered, the fact you only ended up 2 minutes behind into the like at the end of the game,
Yeah. Yeah,
like this. Go ahead.
there was a lot in this seed that felt bad. A lot of back and forth walking for me and like little time losses like that. Like within like the first 30 minutes I knew I was gonna need like farfelu to like just kind of like hit a brick wall if I was going to win this race because I felt like all over the place. I wasn't like committing to any plays. I bounced off the wintry cave in, and I was just like, man, I was a little all over the place.
I mean, to
So
be fair, I think everyone pretty much made that check before they had a claw. So
well, yeah, no, I mean like I clawed down and walked up to the bomb wall, and then it was like, oh crap, I can't do this.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
everyone. I think we've all forgotten what was in the way.
Yeah, and I think definitely for the seed structure here, all of you did well. All three of you finished sub 110 for what is essentially an almost full clear seed. I think there was like about 5 or 6 checks left on the table.
where
Chanigan,
was
yeah, I think you were technically the most efficient, and even then, you still had to do a lot of legwork.
Yeah.
where
A lot
was
of walking.
the Cupid locket?
First
Dune
floor of Doom
Castle.
Tower.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't in that box.
Yeah, Farfelu was the only one to take that gamble and just run down to the bottom right real quick and check, and it paid off for him.
Yeah. Because it's
But
either
yeah,
that or Night Sword. So I was like, no, I'm good.
Sword was in the tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the only 2 checks I didn't make in this seed.
Yeah. So yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else really to go over with what we saw from you three. Yeah, like having said, Chanigan, you just kind of made all the right moves for the seed. I think of the three of you, you're the only one who didn't been much time in Lava Dome.
I never.
get-
I think I never stepped in the lava dome. I did volcano, then I'm just I don't have bigger grenades. I don't want to do that, so
Yeah.
I just left and went to where did I go after that?
I believe after that you went into like Ice Pyramid or
Haley?
something.
Oh yeah, ice pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah. Because by that point you had grenades, you had claw, you had a
Mm-hmm.
sword, so there was no reason not to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for fail, I am right in that you did do Lava Dome as well, right? I don't know.
Sorry, there was sound issues. I'm not sure if you were talking to me.
Uh, no, we kind of have just been chatting, and I just now got back around to you. But yeah, you also dived Lava Dome, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I have full clear lava dome.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is I think that's what kind of is the time difference between what you two like. I think that's a good chunk of that 10-minute time difference between you two finishing and Chanigan finishing was the two of you dome and Chanigan didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, did Chanigan clear the tree?
No.
Okay.
He went and grabbed the Alive Forest chest and then bounced. Said no, thank you to Ghidra.
Yeah, I
just,
also did
just
that.
as a
But
reminder, go ahead.
like I said, it's only because I forgot the bomb dungeon, because I would definitely have done bomb dungeon before the tree. But yeah, I remembered after killing Ghidra, so yeah, that's why I cleared that.
But hey, you got a nice shiny knight sword out of it. It'll look good on the shelf next to the Excalibur you already had.
Yep.
I did want to ask Chanigan, how good did it feel making that gamble for Fireberg and getting rewarded with exit from that South of Mines battleground?
Oh, very. I knew that was the one of the best play I did for the sea. Just getting exit and not having to walk. That saves so much time.
For sure. Like as soon as I saw you get exit, I was like, that's definitely a game changer. Because I think you were the only one of the four of you that split Fireberg early, like I said.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
think that we're probably good to start wrapping up here, letting SpeedGaming get their channel back. So I guess we could kind of just go in reverse finishing order then. Caleb, we'll start with you. Any final thoughts on this seed?
No, it was fun. This is a fun game. I like this randomizer. Thank you, Woat and Hebbings and Captain Nerd and Giga for putting the show together. And farfelu, we'll get Game 3 scheduled at some point. We don't have to rush it now. We got like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Farfelu, what about you? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, we'll see. You can expect us to play our match 3 probably next week, and GG Caleb and Chanigan, and thank you for the restream.
Chanigan, what about you? Any final thoughts
Yeah.
on this seed?
No, not really on the seed. I just want to thank you guys for commentating, tracking, and a huge thank you for to Josie and the Speed Gaming crew. I just threw them the 4-way race this morning, and they were very quick to accept it. And I really want to do a huge thank you to them. That was really good. That was a blast, and yeah, huge thank you again.
So yeah, Hemmings, I'll let you talk us out of here. But before we do, just as a reminder to folks, if you enjoyed what you saw tonight or want to find out when either Game 3 between Caleb and Farfelu or Hebbings and Channing coming bout is, if you head over to ffmqrando.net, you will find both the randomizer and a link to our Discord, where all of these races do get mentioned when they are going live. Otherwise, I believe Hebbings, if you want to get us out of here.
Yeah, for sure. And I do want to just kind of re-encourage everybody. Stopping by the Discord is probably the best place to find out all this information and kind of get involved. There's a new player resource room just for people just joining. There's active roles for people who want to run casual races. All of your runners in this tournament are pretty active in the Discord, so if you have any questions or just need some help with a seed for your first time, we're all available to give you a hand. But again, just like Chanigan said, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody helping out tonight. Woat, thank you for being my co-commentator. Giga and Captain Nerd 2, thank you for running the trackers. And again, huge thank you to SpeedGaming Live for hosting us tonight. And with that being said, I think we are good to call it a night. So I want to thank you most of all, chat, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. So I will say good night.
Take care, everyone.